Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, going good, going good. How are you?
Yeah, buddy.
Still sick, so this is my first sober spaces. I'm a little disappointed.
I thought you got some stuff today.
Oh, yeah, I went out just in case I feel better in the morning. I got 2 cases of tequila beer there.
You got that COVID?
Yeah, no, I tested negative, but I'm still sick. I've been sick for weeks, so I don't know what's going on. But I don't want to talk about that, guys. I want to talk about some
I'm
damn
sick and
SEC
tired. I'm
football.
sick and tired of excuses, Mike. How about that? I'm sick and tired of you picking the Florida Gators.
Man, I think Ollie might be on his way down here to come whoop my ass.
Yeah, I think he's en route. You may want to stay inside.
That's what I want to talk. Just week 2 games, man. How? What's the game you're the least confident in that you've picked? I mean, I think we're basically picking the same teams on every game aside from Kentucky, Florida. But is there another one, or is it that one, or what's the one that you're least confident in this weekend?
For me, Mike, the least confident, obviously, the Florida Kentucky game. I've kind of, made it where Kentucky's going to win this thing. It's in my head, I'm buying into it, but then there's that lingering, Anthony Richardson sitting over in the corner. Like, you remember, I played for the Florida Gators, right? So
Yeah.
clearly, I'm a little nervous about that one. But I'm going to tell you another one, Mike, is Mizzou. I don't know. I don't know how good Kansas State is. We've heard folks talk them up, and I think Mizzou is sluggish a little bit out of the gates, but I still think they're a better program. So I guess just the lingering question. I want to know how good Mizzou is, and I think after 2 weeks of play, we'll really have the answer to that.
How bad is Tennessee going to beat Pitt? Do you think? I mean, how confident
They're
are
already
you?
in there. They're already in their heads, man. I think somebody just saw a video up there. I think they were at a baseball game or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, already can. I mean, it's going to be a home field advantage. I think for. I'm not worried about Pitt. I know that sounds crazy, Mike. But it's the homerism in me or whatever. But just as good as this offense looked last week, I just can't see Pitt keeping up. Even if we make mistakes, it's something we can turn around and put 14 points on the board real quick.
So no mention of Arkansas, South Carolina. You're just so confident in the Razorbacks in that one?
Yeah, nothing against South Carolina and what they're building over there. I just think that Arkansas is, a year ahead, and this is going to be an epic game. And I could be wrong, man. I'll tell you what, South Carolina fans are starting to show up there in Fayetteville. It's looking good and promising. They're on cloud nine. That they didn't have the perfect game against Georgia State, but I don't know, man. Is this the day Rattler takes over and shows us that he's a top 5 quarterback? I mean, if that happens, then that's the true equalizer. But I didn't see that last week. I didn't see the running game like I wanted to from South Carolina. They got to get away from that being one dimensional. To beat Arkansas, they've got to get that running game going. They got to get that offensive line going, and I'm just not convinced going into week 2 that we're there. Now, if these two programs meet later in the year, maybe we're singing a different tune. I just think, South Carolina is still trying to, establish their identity.
And you mentioned the fans. Man, they're showing up there, the Gamecock fans in Fayetteville. Now, maybe just the 200 that are there are being very vocal, but it seems like they're taking over, coming in, ready for a fight. So,
Yeah.
hey, credit to these South Carolina fans. If they win this game, of course, they got Georgia next week, but
Yeah.
I mean, they could be off to one hell of a season. I mean, this is someone made this point to me, Shane. I mean, which team needs this more to have a great season? Is it Arkansas? Is it South Carolina? Something to prove? I think it may be the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I think it's South Carolina, Mike. I think if you ask any Razorback fan, 9 times out of 10, they're going to think this is an easy victory. I'm not convinced that it's an easy victory, but if you lose that game, then it's considered a big upset in the national media attention. So I think it's bigger for South Carolina to establish that they aren't that far away in the SEC East. So it's a good it's a hell of a test. I mean, I'm gonna talk it up as a good game, but I'm just afraid that Arkansas just got too many toys in the cupboard.
How quickly are people going to be jumping off the Gator bandwagon if they drop this to Kentucky and then in 2 weeks? Of course, they got to come up to Knoxville for that game, and everybody is high on Florida after beating Utah, but maybe Utah is horribly overrated. What thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Florida is on cloud nine right now. The Gators should be. I mean, that was an electric environment. The swamp, was full capacity. These fans are super hungry to be relevant again, and they did that last week in beating a top 10 program. Me and you may not think Utah's as good as national media, but the fact of the matter is national media has them top 10. So this was a huge upset for them. It pole vaulted them in the rankings. Florida's got some holes. They got some things that they got to work on. But, maybe they're further along than we thought going into this season, Mike.
And we got Jeremy, a Razorback fan. Let's hear his thoughts on the South Carolina game.
Well, hey, guys, I live in Little Rock, 3 hours away from Fayetteville. I have no inside information, no connections to the coaching staff or anything. But I can predict that tomorrow, first of all, I don't know if y'all knew, but it appears that Jalen Cavanaugh is out for the season, which is devastating to him and to all Razorback fans. And then Slusher's out. We struggled with pass defense last week, and they can't run. So I think you're going to see Barry Odom return to what he did against Ole Miss, 3 down and dropping 8, and Matt Corral threw 6 interceptions. I think you're going to see Spencer Rattler totally rattled. And I think the Razorbacks are going to have 4 picks tomorrow and win comfortably. And I think if it's true that Catalan is out for the season and Slusher's out for a few weeks, you're probably going to see that 3 down, drop 8 for several weeks to come. And I'm fine with it because it's worked pretty well for us in the past.
Do you think this is going to be a game at all?
I don't. I mean, I think Cincinnati's, I think y'all have said this too. You've been a little more circumspect than I'm going to be, but I think Cincinnati's infinitely better than South Carolina as far as offensive line, certainly the line of scrimmage. And I think we're going to run all over them. I think we're going to drop 8. They're going to have to run on us, which I don't think they're capable of. And so I don't think it's going to be a blowout like Georgia, Oregon or something, but I think it'll be a 17, 21-point victory, something like that.
I like it. I think
appreciate you, Jeremy.
Thank you, guys.
Let's get on here. We got a couple more fans we got to get to, but just real quick on Jeremy. Last week he said, "Hey, it's going to be a tight ball game with Cincinnati." He was dead on. We thought it was going to be a blowout, so he may have a better sense than us. We got Randall Hogg on here. Let's see if you got to unmute your mic. You there, Randall?
Woo damn pig!
Yeah.
Woo damn pig! We will beat South Carolina. Don't worry.
What do you think the score will be?
I believe we'll beat them by about 14 points.
14 points. Okay, a little closer than
I'm thinking.
I can see it.
I'm thinking we beat him by 2 touchdowns. Rattler is not as sharp as y'all think he is. He is. It's all hype, y'all. It's all hype.
I like it. Where's the Gamecock fans at? They never get on here.
You know why? You know why? They got shit to say, boy. We're going with the quarterback that Oklahoma kicked. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
I love it, man.
Appreciate you, Randall.
Man, he really.
Oh shit! I cut him off mid-sentence. I apologize, man. I thought you were done. But that's the thing, Shane. Have you noticed that it's like Spencer Rattler? Either he's a Heisman front runner or he's just garbage.
Right.
Why is there not a middle ground? A guy that completed 70% of his passes, 40 touchdowns, I think 10 interceptions, 4,000 yards. I mean, he ain't garbage. and I've been saying he's not a Heisman. I mean, there's an in between there, in my opinion. But hey, maybe I'm on an island there.
And he's still getting victories, man. They may be ugly, but they're still wins, and I'll take an ugly win any day.
We got Wyatt now here. Let's see what he's got. You got to unmute yourself there, Wyatt. He must be a Gamecock.
Easy, Mike.
I'm just kidding. Well, we got one here. We got C. Floyd in here. Wyatt, he had his shot here. C. Floyd, you got to unmute yourself. Uh-oh, Ollie.
All right, there's Floyd.
I know, he muted himself again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
First off, big fans. Mike, thanks for all the hard work you do each and every day with the pods. Cousin Shane, I appreciate you. I'm rooting for you each and every pod that you make it through. The camera don't die. I'm rooting for you, bud. Yeah, man, I'm a Carolina fan. We got stuff to say, but I'm one of the realistic ones, man. It's our offensive line. I think it's just so hard to judge Rattler on the overhype. How much of his true potential is even being shown? I mean, the offensive line, you can't do anything with anybody. It doesn't matter if Joe Montana or whoever is your quarterback if you don't have nobody blocking for you. So I just think until it's that line is the same group of guys and the two deeps that's been there since pretty much the 2020 season that had a 1,000-yard rusher with Kevin Harris. So I don't know what's happened to these boys with the schemes or the new. I don't know, but it isn't just a normal first game jitter. Like, this is the same group. They've had plenty of starts. I think the most combined starts in the SEC as an offensive line. So it's just I'm going to wake up tomorrow and definitely have all the hope because the pieces are there. It's just that offensive line. We got the weapons. I mean, all the receivers are there. I feel good about our running backs, Juju McDowell, Josh Van. I mean, all that can produce. And Rattler, I know he likes to roll to his left. I don't know if y'all got to watch the Welcome Home series that ESPNU was putting on for those last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You would hear some inside stuff where they were like, Sat was telling him, you got a habit of rolling when you don't need to. So I just wonder how much of that escapability last week was him leaving too early and so it's just so hard to hear people say I think he's a bust when you really don't know what his potential is just due to our offensive line. So I feel like if our offensive line just shows up to be average tomorrow, we got a real good chance.
Real quick, Floyd, we got Ollie on the line here. Score prediction for the game.
With my heart or what I think?
No, your heart, baby. Your heart.
My heart, 34-27 Carolina. Realistic?
There we go.
Arkansas 31. Carolina 20. But that doesn't mean I'm not waking up tomorrow full-fledged Gamecocks, baby. Let's go. Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Appreciate you. All right, let's get, just letting everybody be warned. This is going to be some fire right here. We got Cousin Ollie on the line, and Lord knows what he's going to say. You're connecting now. You just got to unmute.
Are you there, guys?
Yes, sir.
It's an issue with Twitter. Just to let you know, there's a mic on, mic off kind of stuff. Okay.
Right.
And Mike, I love you, but I also hate you.
Is this my girlfriend? What's up there?
This is my wife speaking to me in the middle of a fight. All right. You hate my cats, Mike, and I'm ready to put up with it. All right. If
I thought I said didn't I say it was going to be a complete toss-up 50-50 style ball game?
That's not what I heard. I heard you were predicting Gators win by 90, and I am pissed off.
No, I got Florida by 4. I mean, if Anthony Richardson can be contained, like who was it? J.J. Wright says, or Weaver said that they're going to. If they contain him, I think Kentucky probably does win this football game. I just don't know if they have the talent to do it. What do you think about that?
I think you said Florida by 90, and I'm pissed off.
Are you on your way down here right now to finish your business?
No, I cannot drive at this point. All right, but
Oh my God.
I'm a responsible human being that says I love you, but I hate you. And I want my Cats to win by 90 tomorrow, and I got.
Hey, Ollie.
Hey,
Ollie. So, what is in your mind? How do you see this game playing out tomorrow?
Anthony, what's his name? Richardson. Not 15. He needs to have the game of his life tomorrow. And if he doesn't, the Cats are going to walk their ass straight out the exit door tomorrow day. I'm just not scared of Florida, guys. I mean, I know Tennessee just wants to bow down and love Florida and just worship them, but by God, Kentucky's not afraid of Florida, and we're not scared.
Yeah, I love it. Ollie DM'd me AR not 15. I thought that was pretty funny.
It's a one-man team, just like Lamar Jackson was with Louisville. And I can't stand it. We're gonna whole team that defense. We got our defense back. We don't need. I love Chris Rodriguez, but man, I'm telling both of you, as far as my heart can tell you, Lavelle Wright. I'm gonna screenshot this and I'm gonna send it to you Sunday morning.
Now, last week you said Chris Rodriguez. That's not much of a loss. Then they couldn't run the damn ball in Miami. So which one is it?
Well, I'm telling you, he likes to fumble the ball, but I need that offensive line to step up a little bit. But I'm telling you, there's a guy on that team. His name is Lavelle Wright from Hardin County, Kentucky. He can run the ball. And he can move the pile. And I just hope to God somebody on that coaching staff can say, put that boy in, number one, RB1.
So last thing, Ollie, score prediction for the game and how many over-under interceptions for Will Levis, 4 or 5?
I think Will Levis is going to get 0 interceptions. I think that Florida Gators can move the ball. Boy, I believe in Anthony Richardson. My God, that guy can move the ball. And I think the Florida Gators, at the end of the day, will have it pains me to say this, they'll have 0 points. But the Kentucky, my God, they can't hardly move the ball because the offensive line is so bad. They might only have 90 points. And so I will predict at the end of the day, the Kentucky Wildcats will win 90-0, Cats by 90.
All right, appreciate you, cousin Ollie.
I love you guys. Bye bye.
See you, brother.
All right, let's get. We got Kirby in here. Kirby Short. Let's see what he's got to say. This is Jonathan's nickname here. You in here, Kirby? Got to unmute yourself.
Hey. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, Kirby?
Good. Yeah, Kirby here. Now, admittedly, I am a Gator fan, but I just can't get over the comment by Ollie there that we're just a one-horse team. I mean, have you guys heard of ETN, the freshman? I mean, he's about to become a household name, and it all starts Saturday night. And yeah,
Were you at the Utah game, Kirby?
Yeah, man, it was rocking. I mean, it was loud for sure.
When's the last time you heard the stadium that loud?
The loudest I've ever heard it was probably the cock block game against South Carolina. That was probably the loudest I've ever heard, but man, this was up there. I mean, the place was just buzzing.
What's the vibe down there? I mean, do you all think that Kentucky's got a snowball's chance here, or is this or do you think this is going to be a tight game? What's the vibe down there in Gainesville?
I think the vibe is that Napier's kind of taken everyone by surprise. I didn't think we were expecting to rise so quickly, especially in the rankings. But and I think it is a little too high right now. I like to be under the radar personally, but man, they're buzzing. We're amped up, and I think we're going to win by 2 or 3 scores. I really do. I think it's going to be a second game.
Ooh, coming in fire. I appreciate you, Kirby.
I love it.
We got Marler on here. Let's see what he's got to say. He's also Kirby Short, is what we call him.
Is he down there in Austin?
He's muted. I know that.
I just want to come in here for a second here, Mike. Say I'm a big fan of both, not really of you, but your cousin. Also, Kirby Short is a fucking incredible name. So that's the reason you have to listen. That one guy had I think one of my favorite SEC lines ever was, you want me to tell you what I think Carolina's going to do with my heart or my head? And it was like a 17-point difference. It was fantastic. How are y'all tonight?
Doing good, man.
man.
Hey, we think about this. We think about this Alabama-Texas game, man. I wanted to ask you.
I've been saying it all year, and I'm usually wrong with most of my instincts, as you guys know. But I will say, when they don't involve women, they're usually a little bit more keen to being right. And so I will say, I think that Texas is gonna be a little bit tougher than people realize. I have a feeling I don't think you take much away from what Bama did last week against Utah State, but I will say that there's a lot of offensive talent to play around with there with Sark, and I think I know Mike doesn't, but I still think he's a great offensive mind, and I think he's going to put up some points tomorrow. I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
Who do you got winning Florida, Kentucky, and Arkansas, South Carolina? Real quick?
Arkansas big, Florida big.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you, brother.
Of course, man. Y'all keep it up. Keep up the great work.
See you, brother.
All right, let's see. We got Justin in here, long time listener. He's always showing up. Let's give Justin some love. I got a feeling he's gonna like Arkansas big this week.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You there, Justin?
Hey, I'm here. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Appreciate you showing up again.
Hey, you know I always have to come and check you guys out. See what you guys are up to. See if
how badly is Arkansas gonna beat South Carolina tomorrow?
We got some added motivation now. They have to
lay it on.
They have to really. They're gonna come in and show out for the boy Cavanaugh, because that really hurt. That sucks. That really sucks for him.
Yeah.
But I really want to see them get their run game. Just last week they were quietly. Rocket got 117 quietly. You really didn't hear him get his 117. This week I really feel like they're just gonna punish him. Just bloop 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 bloop. Keep hitting them. That's what's going to happen on this one. It's going to be a big one. I see KJ hit a couple of explosive ones just to get it down there and get the score up, and then they're just going to run it down their throat. But hey,
you got a score prediction real quick?
Oh yeah, we're going to do that at least 38, 17, somewhere around there. Hey, I have something about that Florida and Kentucky. Hey, we're saying Florida gets that W, they're going to be in the top 10.
Yep.
Hey,
Crown them.
Hey,
Jeez Louise,
they're
guys.
already 12.
You got some worse than ESPN.
That's two ranked teams. That's two ranked teams under their belt. I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying.
They're building something special over there. I think so. You got Arkansas winning big. You got Florida winning big.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And Alabama, I see Jahmyr Gibbs getting his numbers in tomorrow.
You want to put your pink slip on that?
Oh, yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get his numbers tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Now.
Okay.
I like that.
Appreciate you, Justin.
Hey, no problem.
Appreciate you, man.
See you. Let's try to get Wyatt one more time here. We got him in before, but he didn't unmute himself. You there, Wyatt? Looks like he's still
There
muted.
he is.
Buddy, you there? Going once. Well, we got Brian Kelly in here.
Well, he's late as usual.
What you got for us, Brian?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Sounds great. Alright, so here's my prediction for the LSU game. I think
Come on, lay it on us.
we're going to play worse than we played on Saturday. My kids don't have 3.8 GPA. We're at the strip club learning how to grind a little bit better. I think Southern beats us that one. What do you guys think?
Oh, my man. You may be drinking. Brian Kelly is drinking already.
Let's get Randall back. Let's get Randall back in here. Randall had some fire before. Where have you been, Jonathan? I haven't heard you all that. Who you got, Florida, Kentucky?
Yeah, let me talk. I want to talk.
Uh-oh.
John
All right.
Daly in the house.
Let's go. Yeah, y'all had me muted, didn't you? That's okay. I don't mind.
Grip and rip, baby.
Y'all don't hear them hogs, do you? Woo down pig. That's right. Spencer Rattler is going to spend most of the day on his back.
This thing's going sideways quick. All right, and what about we got a Florida man here.
Is that Jay
I'll
Dalton?
mute himself here. Good
Hey,
beat.
what's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I really don't see Kentucky hanging with Florida tomorrow. I mean, last year's game, Florida had 130 yards, I believe, in penalties, and they'd just given up at that point. I mean, Levis couldn't even do anything against Florida last year, and they just looked much better to me.
So, who's giving? So, you think does Florida have a shot to win the East? I'm just curious because everybody's real high on them all of a sudden.
I'm not too sure about that, honestly. I don't know how consistent and deep they can be, but I mean, like I said, I think Florida is 10 times better than last year, and I mean, they lost by an extra point to Alabama.
Yeah. So
What Shane
score
really wants to know is can Florida beat Tennessee, though, on the road? That's what Shane really wants to know.
No, yeah, that ain't happening. We're getting carried away here, guys. You know, Kentucky's one thing. That big orange balls, that's something else.
Well, I think the Tennessee Pitt game will speak a lot to that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be exciting. You think Tennessee loses to Pitt?
I don't see it. I mean, Pitt, they struggled with West Virginia. I think Tennessee gets by them at least by 10-14.
Okay, I like it.
Before you jump off, so what's your score for Kentucky, Florida?
I think about 17 Kentucky, about 38 Florida.
Stroud them, like Shane says, huh?
I love it.
All right, we got an Arkansas man here, Arkansas burner. Oh, this could be interesting here. You there?
Yeah, you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, guys?
No, maybe
What's
not.
going on, brother?
How you doing?
Big pig energy.
Seems like a lot of people.
Mike, you just cut him off.
Oh, well.
Just cut him off. He's talking.
Whoops. I wait for someone to talk. If they don't talk, I cut them off. We got big pig energy here, though.
Yeah, we're bringing that big pig energy tonight, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. I sat down this afternoon. I sat down this afternoon and watched a little bit of that replay of that South Carolina Georgia State game, and I saw something that not a lot of folks are talking about. Georgia State let's back up. South Carolina put 8-9 in the box against Georgia State most of the game and dared them to run the football, and Georgia State was successful. I mean, they put 200 yards on them with a mid-Sunbelt team. What do you think Arkansas is going to be able to do with a bunch of 330-pound across the front guys that are, 60, 70-inch reach that can run and can get after it with running backs that averaged 6 yards a carry last week? I mean, I think Arkansas is going to control the clock. I don't necessarily think K.J. Jefferson's going to have some big breakout passing day, but I definitely think the running backs, it's going to be like those 2005 to 2007 games where D-Mac was running up their ass the whole damn game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key to the game, and that's why I got Arkansas winning it. I just think that as bad as South Carolina played, I don't think that's the real South Carolina. Now, maybe I'm just buying the hype because I was kind of hyping them up all off season, but I think their offense will be able to have success on Arkansas.
Well, here's the thing, though, Mike. Their offensive line statistically is the worst in the conference. They're terrible. I mean, their left tackle is halfway decent, but if you go back and watch the tape, the dude in pass pro has got heavy feet. He's lazy.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about him as a person. I'm talking about his feet are lazy in pass pro. You go back and look at this dude. When he goes back into a kick slide trying to pick up the outside edge, he gets beat a lot against guys that are twice as fast as he is. I just don't think the South Carolina's offensive line is going to be able to keep Arkansas's defensive front, which I got a feeling Odom's probably going to run a 3-2-6 on Saturday with with Cavanaugh being out and now good possibility Slusher not playing. I think they're going to revert back to the defense they played against Ole Miss and against Mississippi State that was so successful of just trying to keep everything in front of them and then let the offense control the clock by running the ball down. But I really don't think that Spencer Rattler, if they can keep him from going to his right, it's going to be a long day for the Gamecocks.
Now, you're the second one, though, that said that they'll play, the 8-man zone defense with the 3-man line. You're that confident in 3 Arkansas linemen can beat 5 South Carolina offensive linemen, and that's before you factor in backs and tight ends.
South Carolina's offensive line, their front 5, tackle to tackle. I'm not talking about their tight ends. Tackle to tackle, they're the worst offensive line in the SEC, and if I'm not mistaken, statistically last year, they were in the bottom third in the country in Division I football teams as far as their statistic blocking stats. They were horrible last year. They did not show me anything against Georgia State that made me believe, because it's the same 5 cats. They did not show anything to make me believe with the quarterback that they got, and I'm giving Spencer Rattler his props. When the guy's on, he's one of the best to play the game currently. I mean, the kid's talented, there's no doubt. But you take that offensive line with that quarterback, you look at him, especially in the first half of the Georgia State game, he was all kinds of out of whack with his offensive line. You can't win with a bad O-line, and I just don't see them being able to stand up to Arkansas's defensive front, even if they do play with 3 men, because you know that Barry Odom's going to run some twist blitzes on the inside. He's going to run some intermediate blitzes. He's going to stunt a lot. So, Drew Sanders is 10 times the linebacker that Caden Henry was last year. So, at the end of the day, I think they've got enough hosses in the front 5 or 7 guys that they're going to do some damage on South Carolina tomorrow.
Sounds like you do some coaching on the side. Am I right?
No, but I did play football for a long time, brother.
we got. Hey, if something ever happens to Shane, I'll give you a call.
Hey, man, we big energy, man. We're all about it. We just love Razorback football. We love football, period, and that's what we're here to do. Coach Kevin Kelly works with me on my podcast, and I appreciate you guys giving me a time to speak when you didn't have to.
Absolutely. One last thing before you go. Score prediction. You may have already given it, but
man, I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to be like a 35-20, maybe even a 35-18 game. I think Arkansas is going to do enough in the first half. I don't think they'll come out and go up like 3 scores in the first half. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be similar to last week. You're going to see about a 10-point, 14-point game at half going Arkansas's way. I think South Carolina comes out in the third quarter, kind of like they did last week, firing on all cylinders, trying to do something to try to stretch the field against Arkansas secondary. But I think late in the game, the offensive line play is really going to pay on Arkansas' side, because South Carolina just doesn't have the dogs up front to keep Spencer Rattler clean. We talked about on our show this week, KJ Jefferson's got to play clean football. He can't be on his back. He can't take some of the hits he took last week. I did not like him carrying the ball 18 times last week, especially when we got the stable of running backs that we've got. And I know Jimmy Smith, our running backs coach, said the same thing last week, and Coach Pittman addressed it a couple of times in press conferences. I just don't think that your starting quarterback needs to be taking those kind of licks.
But I tell you, man, I was watching that Buffalo Bills game last night, and Josh Allen and company, they were up, quite a bit, and you just can't turn that off in some of those athletes like KJ and Josh Allen.
And I 100% agree with you. We saw it last week. If you go back and watch the tape in the third quarter after he took that big hit from, I think it was number 7 or maybe number 9 for Cincinnati, just kind of fell on him. He got up, kept grabbing his right side, made me think he broke a lower short rib or maybe had a bruise.
Yeah.
Deep interior bruise on his oblique or something, the way he was twisting. Because the very next 2 passes, he tried to hit Warren Thompson, one of which would have been a score. He was bad off target. And that's a mechanical thing that you get a bruise like that and you've got to twist your body to throw, man. That's a lot of pain. I just don't like him carrying the ball 18 times a game. He's going to do it, but we've got, Rashad Dominion looked really good. He only carried the ball 3 times, but all 3 times he looked really good.
Yeah.
Dominique Johnson very likely is going to play tomorrow. I mean, it still hasn't been announced. But
Yeah.
the dude had the green jersey off this week. He was taking hits. I got a good feeling he's going to be playing on 3rd down tomorrow.
Hey, I appreciate you. We got to get to someone else.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
35-20. That sounds very familiar there, Mike.
We haven't had an Aggie on here. We got Matt here as an Aggie.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what he's got to say
Yeah,
real quick.
I just want to say one thing. Where the hell is this South Carolina hype coming from? They got Spencer Rattler, and now they're automatically supposed to be a good team. I mean, they got their asses beat last year by 30, at least. Where the hell is this blind? Where the hell is this blind? Oh, we got Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma. I don't give a shit who you have back there. Your offensive line is garbage. Arkansas proved last year that they can get to the passer and the three defensive linemen. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I think it might be a little close just because South Carolina has decent weapons and their defense is okay. But other than that, I don't think. I mean, Spencer Rattler's a spoiled brat, anyways. Crybaby, whatever you want to call it, man. But
It doesn't sound like you're biased at all.
No. Hey.
Man, I just don't. I don't have a problem with South Carolina.
What were you like when you were 16? I mean, I was an asshole. I know I was. I'm still an asshole.
No, another thing I was going to say real quick. I hear a lot of people poking fun at A&M because we didn't play good last week, and that's great. And everybody's like, "Oh, I believe the certain might upset you this year." Y'all are, I don't understand where that's coming from either, because nobody in their right mind thinks A&M has a defense nearly as bad as North Carolina's. And App State's defense is terrible. They give up 60 points to North Carolina. So,
What do you expect in Texas A&M? What are you looking forward to with Haynes King?
my record.
Well, I'm just curious, because I don't think that game last week went exactly as scripted.
No,
but what did they need to do this week to improve in your eyes?
I think you have to get the tight ends involved. You have to give a lot of H-Ham space, let him do his thing. Because we all know that dude. You give him just a little bit of space, he's gone. He's got 10-1 speed, probably a 4.3 guy, easy. I think that's the thing. I think also like last week we had two really good offensive linemen out. Bladen only played like 10 snaps. Bryce Foster has mono. So I think once we get to continuity on the offensive line, we'll be all right. I think the game plan, honestly, against Sam Houston is just, Haynes go out there and chunk the ball around, because, there's that joke that A&M doesn't ever spread the ball around. So, maybe that's something Jimbo wanted to work on. And I think this week the game plan's going to be a little bit different, probably a little bit more run, heavy, play action pass, stuff like that. Just trying to get that stuff smoothed out before Miami. And I think
What's your score prediction? A&M Appalachian.
A&M Appalachian, I think we're going to score at least 40, and they might score 14. And I'd say probably about 40 to 14 or something.
Sounds like Cousin Shane. I appreciate you, Matt. Let's get. I haven't heard from Jonathan this whole damn call. Who you got with Kentucky, Florida?
This Twitter space reminds me of like when we get the new NCAA game and you and Shane start it up, warm it up, and then 6 hours later you're like, oh, hey, you're here too. You want to play? So yeah, I'm gonna crack at it. I don't know. I feel like we're just really hitting on Kentucky, Florida. I think if those teams from last week play each other, you got to give it to Florida because Florida just looked a lot better.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a game. I think it's going to be somewhere around 17 to 35, 17-28, something like that. And then, let's see, Tennessee Pitt, I dare not say because I don't want to jinx it in any way. But what about Vanderbilt? You think they can potentially upset Wake Forest? Just because I'm an SEC.
That's a good one.
Yeah. He goes to one Vanderbilt game, and all of a sudden, that's all he wants to talk about.
I'm a Vandy holder.
I saw him wearing a Mike Wright jersey the other day, Mike.
He's got 11 touchdowns this year.
You guys all talk about Anthony Richardson. You want to know the true MVP? You can go up to Nashville, son.
I think that game could be really fun, really underrated. and I think there's going to be about 50, 60 points scored in it. So it's going to be a hell of a fun game to watch. I don't think either defense is that good going into that matchup. So I sure as hell hope Vanderbilt pulls the upset. I'll be rooting for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's going to be a good one. I'm
I
looking
feel like
forward
we-
to that. Is there any other games you guys are looking forward to that we haven't talked about?
No, that's the only other one. I think everybody else is going to handle business.
Mississippi
I really
State,
want-
Arizona, I want to see, but that's
Yeah.
at midnight.
I bet you watch that one Sunday.
It's like
Oh wait, it will be Sunday.
starts at 2 p.m. here in Hawaii. I'll be fine.
All right, anything before we hop off the line?
No, I again, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome slate of games. It's a shame. I think Texas, Alabama so early, and but at least we're going to have some action right out of the gate. But no, I'm looking forward to it, man. Just all the way around.
Absolutely. And for anybody that came in late, we'll post this as soon as we can. I found a way to kind of do it quicker. We put it on YouTube. We put it on the podcast feed, so check it out there. But, hey, that's all I got. I got dinner sitting here, so I'm going to jump off the line. I'll be like Cousin Shane. But I appreciate everybody showing up.
And
Yeah.
send those koozies. Send pictures of
koozie
koozies.
shots. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's really cool to see them out in all the games.
All right,
Absolutely.
see you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Good luck.